Okay, yes, because we've been left unsupervised, and here's like, was a reset while everything is starting to go. Might as well throw up a live stream on top of everything else. So right now, I am currently. I've uploaded one video has been uploaded already and gotten some spots. It's my review of Strange New Worlds of Those Old Scientists. Unfortunately, I did something different with the opening graphics, and because of that, it's unmonetized. So it's like, whatever. I was trying something new, but it'll drive traffic, so I'll leave it. And I don't feel like redoing it. I'm also up doing the second one, which is a review of episode one of Gates McFadden's documentary series, The Center Seat. There's a few wrong things that seeped in there, and because they're long-standing fan legend type thing, but it's like, no, that's not what happened. So that'll be up. It's 8. So that's going right now. And then I got a third one, which is more back on the trans thing. And then it's not specifically about Indy. She gets mentioned, but it's mainly about another one, Kim Cadigan, who's praised in picking fights for I don't know why, except it's just stupid thing you do in your 20s when you think you're on a high horse and stuff, and you got to carry my. No, you don't want to do this right now. Okay, calm the fuck down. This is not a hill you want to die on. So and that's currently compiling right now. It is at 71%. Whoop! Here we go. Hold on, I gotta get back over here. Yeah, there we go.
I'm still fighting with it.
And there she is.
What I usually use by a long shot. Okay.
Yeah. For her background there, her internet's out right now. She's on her phone. So we're live, by the way. So we're.
What do I do? I need these stupid headphones. I'm pissed off at your phone. That and the internet going out. Give me one sec.
Live TV, kids.
Yeah. Also, screw Mountain Internet.
Yeah. You got a better picture with your phone, frankly.
That's a bit better. Almost there. Almost there.
Right now, I've got a problem. I'm just asking my computer to do too much right now. I'm compiling the video on one side, uploading another, and it's like, where are we at on this one? Percent upload today.
What the heck? Oh boy, now my computer just reset itself.
Something's got to give here. Okay, yeah.
So it's not just no internet; it just completely went down.
Whoop. Okay.
I hate this. Welcome to the night I'm having.
Yeah. We have no.
I'm on a stupid little stand on my phone right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess the plus side is at least the red in the hair is still visible in this crappy lighting. Well, as my husband is trying to rest, and the laptop makes me light up really well. Yeah. So usually it's not a big deal that the room's dark, but even with the stupid little extra light that comes with a stupid stand, it doesn't exactly do much. Other than spotlight help, I know I have more than my normal camera does. I mean,
yeah.
So how's your night?
Oh, fun. Well, a rare burst of creative energy. I've done 3 videos today. I'm uploading the second one and rendering the third. So
Problem is, I can't write without music. I don't have my music files here, so I've been using YouTube to get me through. I was in the middle of trying to do my writing, and the internet went out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just had to, let a few rants build up to a point. Okay, I think we got enough now to go with. So to do
Let's see if I remember the right password so I can actually turn back on my computer. I'm really, really hoping that I'll be able to get back onto the actual computer soon. And I won't have to sit here a miserable little bitch. At least not about that.
The locking up as you or me, because I'm got this.
I'm hearing you okay. I don't know what that says about either of our systems, though. Because me and technology hate each other.
So a lot of the problems, it's probably on my end that's really breaking up. Because again, I got Premiere.
Still no internet.
Miracle if I don't crash. So.
It's been over an hour now. Still no internet. I need to trim my hair again. It's getting wild.
So the third one is.
I can't believe that this world is so stupid that they genuinely feel that they have to give you directions on how to set a stand in place on the table and put a phone on it.
Trying to get her so I can share out the link. Maybe get,
The annoying thing also is that I like to do my brain busters, my word challenges, and stuff like that when we hang out. I can't do that if I'm on the phone. Still no internet. Really, fuck you. Fucking twat sucking twat. Sorry. I might be a little bit psycho. That much.
Hold on.
Just that much. I'm still wondering what Twitter was actually up to with all. Well, I was doing fine. I had my sound working.
Poor thing. But I'm trying to post a couple links.
Anybody
here.
actually watching in chat can tell us if he's not hearing because his system's decided to fuck up or because mine has. Yes. None of my settings have changed.
One of these things finishes, you should pick up there. But
one of these things is not like the other. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, I don't know.
Dark red hair is always interesting in
close that.
Dark lighting, isn't it?
And then wait for this stupid window to come up so I can post that. Come on, post.
I'm still laughing at the one sliding scale. Women couldn't get followers if they don't have to thirst trap or twerk for people. And then as soon as women start going, I don't do any of that stuff, he's like, no, you have your profile pictures. That counts. It's like showing our faces counts. What are you, like stoning women for showing their face? What do we need, burqas?
Yeah. God.
Look, I don't use words like
where are these
incel
people coming
often,
from?
but
It's, I'm seeing Anna. I'm seeing Anna catch all kinds of crap. People calling her a boy or a 50-year-old man. Or have you ever checked lately?
yeah, I can guarantee you, as somebody who's talked to Anna and met her in person, there ain't nothing boyish about that girl's figure.
Doesn't give a shit. She just, you know,
Or they always sit there and go,
being
well, you're not
engaged.
skinny enough. It's like, well, fuck you then. It's not like you're the one I'm trying to impress. You know? What's
Yeah.
happened is, yeah, the feminists went off the fucking rails. They went crazy with the man hating bullshit. They went crazy with the weird, creepy stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you've got a bunch of these little
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
no dick incel wannabes who decided that they're going to get even with the feminists by being just as sexist, stupid, and
Mm-hmm.
pathetic. And they're running around being led by Andrew fucking Tate and his twat bag brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're going around calling every woman ugly, fat, whores, thoughts, everything else, just so they can try to feel important. And the reason is because they're too impotent to feel important any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Newsflash, if you
Yeah.
can't
They got stuff going
accept
on
that
about
women aren't going to look the way you want, deal with it. And actually, the ones that are trolling that model for being too fat because she has the big
like
hips.
the GIF with a runway model. Yeah. It's like, yeah, could she stand to lose about 10, 20 pounds? Yeah, sure. But is it a deal breaker? Hell no. Okay.
Well, not really though. Actually, she's really big in the hips, but she's actually got a very svelte waist, and if you actually look, you can see muscle definition in the stomach, legs, and arms.
Whoop.
I mean, she doesn't have much excess weight on her. She just has a very big form, you know.
She's a big girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That doesn't make it fat though, and that's what these people are nuts. They are just
No.
freaking nuts. And yeah, actually, it
Yeah.
is a bunch of Tate's little simps that are the ones
The
that
old
started that
good
harassment campaign
childbearing
about the
hips there.
model.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're going, you know how many cultures and how many eras that those hips would be basically guarantee her any man she wanted?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying, I've got kind of similar ones in that regard, so.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. As in, you would be, certain red Rubens we'd be doing a painting of you, which is hanging in a hall somewhere. You know?
The thing is,
The
we
big
really
skinny
are
thing
in a
didn't happen until like
culture.
the '60s with Twiggy.
Yeah, we really are in a culture where there's one of two things that's celebrated. They celebrate the worst of sexuality. They celebrate either the hyper skinny to the point where it's unhealthy, and it is, even those where it's a metabolic condition and it's just how their bodies are and they don't gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
Being hyper skinny is not healthy.
Yeah.
And then they celebrate
Not
the
really,
people
no.
like Lizzo, who you could roll like three of me into her fat ass, and I'm not skinny. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm sitting there going, no, those aren't healthy. Real women tend to usually be in between. Now, look,
Mm-hmm.
my weight issues came with metabolic conditions. It came with metabolic damaging meds. It came with neuromuscular, neurological issues, and disabilities.
Oh, we have an audience
And
member.
trying to starve myself and work out hours a day was not enough to stop it. You know?
Okay.
Hey,
Apologies up
Ashes.
front for any technical issues going here, but she's on her
No, I
phone.
haven't slept,
I'm
Ashes.
overworking my computer and trying to do too many things. So yeah.
No, Ashes, I haven't
Note
slept
on the indie
actually.
front. She's had some stomach issues right now. So.
But
Yeah.
with all my metabolic issues and all my history of
Yeah.
different dysphorias and
Mm-hmm.
starving and all that, I
You're
still
lucky
am
to be
skinnier than a
alive.
lot of these
Okay.
people that are self-inflicted, and that what pisses me off. They do this where they don't take care of themselves. They don't work out. They eat like crap, and then they sit there and play victim. Anytime anybody says it's not healthy what you're doing to yourself, and meanwhile, because those people are around going, you have to celebrate what I am. It's pissing people off, and so they're lashing at anybody who's not this figured stick norm. And so they come after people like me. And
You're body shaming me.
I already spent the better part of my life either trying to force myself to be skinnier than I am by hook or by crook and by means that weren't healthy, or hating myself to the point I wouldn't want to be around the world. I'm not going to let them tear me down anymore.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
You know?
Yeah.
There's only
They
so
got nothing
much
to do
of
with
the
your life.
BS in the
Fuck it.
world you can listen to at once.
You ain't fucking them. They ain't paying your bills. Fuck them.
Oh no, they wish they could fuck me.
Yeah.
Most of them probably do, because most of the guys that sit there and spew this stuff online.
Yeah.
And you ever notice half of these guys, what's really stunning, I mean, okay, it's obvious if a guy is saying this kind of stuff about
They got
women.
a very soft right hand. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. If a guy is saying tons of
right
stuff
hand is
attacking
very
every
soft.
woman's,
I think it's plenty of
one
lotion.
sec. What I was actually saying was, if you're the type that you're out there bashing women constantly, and you don't have an avatar up, you're ugly as hell. Let's face it. But the fact is, how many of these guys will put up these avatars? They're not attractive, and they're going around bitching and bashing every woman. They're going to people like Anna Bragg, who's one of the people that I mutual follow with. You know who she is, right?
I don't.
She's an ex.
So.
She's an ex Playboy bunny.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, but.
And she's been a friend that I talk with a lot with Lenore and them. Really, really sexy, curvy, beautiful blonde woman. And they go to her page and they do either try to tell her she's not attractive or they try to shame her for showing her body. And meanwhile, the guys doing it have these avatars of their own faces and they're ugly as hell.
Mid. They pulled up his picture. You look like fucking Gollum. Yeah. I think you look like fucking Gollum. You are in no position to call Margot Robbie mid. Okay.
I think her personality would aspire to be mid, but she is attractive. Although
her personality, but yeah.
I've never seen the appeal of blonde hair, because the people that are naturally blonde have very pale skin, and to me it kind of all flushes out and it looks more plain. That's color theory coming out.
I'm not so sure she's a natural blonde. Okay. Yeah.
Well, even the ones that aren't, most of the women who dye it that way, unless they're like ironic blacks and stuff, are usually pale skinned and it blushes out. And then half the time they run around in tan clothes, yellows and whites, and it's like there's nothing there. Look, you can barely tell she's dressed half the time, and there's oh my god. Look, and I don't say that to be mean spirited.
One scene in Wolf of Wall Street is like pause and zoom in.
See, I worked in a clothing boutique for a while, and I've also worked in art and with color theory and all this most of my life. And I remember working in the clothing boutique, and these girls would come in, just as delicate little blonde as can be, and they would want these little pale yellow dresses and all this, and then the native girls would come in, and they for some reason wanted all these brown and red dresses, and it's like, and I'm sitting there going, okay, first of all, color theory. The clothes you wear are supposed to be clothes that contrast enough to your skin tone that makes the clothing and the skin pop. Second of all, they're supposed to be in a complementary color system that will flatter your eye color and your hair color. And then the makeup's supposed to be based upon that. It's color theory, it's art. And I actually, as much as I would sit there and go, how about we try this one too? Because I know you said you like this, but this really looks pretty against you. If you're willing to try it, most of the time they bought what I recommended. Because by the time they tried it on and looked at it, they saw what they looked like. Because I could tell you, looking at a girl, which cut would look
Yeah.
good on her,
Like,
which
oh,
color
that's
would look
nice.
good on her, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
half the time they come in and they pick these outfits
Yeah.
and it would flush their skin out. They'd look plain. It would sometimes make them look kind of
Mm-hmm.
fat in the stomach and hide their
Yeah.
other curves. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you don't sit there and go, that looks hideous. What you say is,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so you like this one. Would you like a few more suggestions before you decide for sure? You can't hint them that way and make it sound like you just want to help them more. It isn't true
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do. You don't. I never liked the people who
Mm-hmm.
would tell people that anything looks good on them to
Yeah.
make the sale or to flatter a friend because you're not doing them a favor sending them out into the world in something that's
Yeah.
not as complimentary to them.
Yeah.
But I also know you
Like,
could
no,
just
that movement was so you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
look, Peach, girls, and I say this to all of you sweet things
Yeah.
out there. If you are one of those petite, delicate, little white blonde girls
Mm-hmm.
with very small curves, it's kind of a little overall stick shape, but got a little curve that's
Mm-hmm.
just pretty. You don't want a frumpy dress. You don't want something that hangs too much because you don't have enough curve to make it pop. And you don't want anything that's
Mm-hmm.
going to blend in with your skin colors. You want something, if your eyes are blue or green, you want something in that peacock color range, and you want it
Mm-hmm.
to cling to certain parts of your body to make them pop out more, like around the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And you want it to drape enough at the hips that it'll make your hips look a little wider.
Mm-hmm.
That's flattering. That's beautiful. It'll make
Yeah.
you look gorgeous. It'll make your eyes shimmer and.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, okay, so yeah, I actually do have a feminine side, and it matches with my color work, my coloring
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I swear, because the shop I was working at, we had prom boutique, and you can imagine what that got like during parts of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Formal wear during this time of year was
Yeah.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I get girls in from all over all these school events and all these teenage girls, and I get in a bunch of parents who either going to some formal event
Mm-hmm.
or they were chaperones for the
Yeah.
proms, or some schools would do proms where parents are invited to and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get all these women in, and A, your age and your body type depict partly which things are most flattering to you.
Yeah.
B, what the fuck is it with these middle aged women who want to wear matching clothes with their daughters?
Yeah. Like say Chris
Yeah.
Jenner. Yeah. Yeah. You're their mother, not their sister. Okay.
And so, yeah, my goal in this show was I will do everything I can
Mm-hmm.
to make you look the prettiest you can, and to find things that flatter what you had. And I was beloved doing it. I had so many customers. I made so much sales doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because once they realized I knew what I was doing, could make them look good, and actually
Yeah.
cared, did not lie to them,
Mm-hmm.
they started swarming anytime I was on shift to come in and get dresses and fancy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. You don't have to be a bitch, to be honest.
Yeah.
And honesty is going to win people a lot easier than some other behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you don't have to be as blunt as I was with the girl in Trapper, although part of why I said it is because I was annoyed as hell at how everyone was telling her this was great.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most beautiful girls we had at job. Absolutely stunning, beautiful woman. And these girls picked out this dress for her that was, it was over the top formal, and
Mm-hmm.
it acted like it was trying to accent her curves, but it
Mm-hmm.
actually made her look artificial.
Uh-huh.
It over dramatized curve points so much and pinched wrong in other spots that
Mm-hmm.
even though it technically showed curves, it really hid how tall, how elegant, how all that she was.
Yeah.
And it was really one of the worst cuts I'd ever seen her in.
Mm.
And she's trying to do this, and this was when we were getting
Kind of
ready
like
for our prom
kind of like
that we did
on
there.
paper this list should be right, but it's not working. Yeah. So, yeah.
On paper, it should have looked right, but it looked horrible, and it even made her
Mm-hmm.
face look bad.
Oh.
She didn't look like the beauty she was in it.
Mm-hmm.
All the girls in the dorm were like, "Oh, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful, so beautiful." You look like a bad with them fucking Barbie doll. Take that shit off.
Yeah.
And she kind of looks at me a second, she looks at the other girls, and they're like turning away like this and trying not to look at us. And
He's like,
I do, don't I? Yeah, you have better dresses. Go put one of them on.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. You can just see her thinking about it a second.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it, and they start looking around. Yeah, and you know I'm right, don't you?
Because you don't
All
always
you
see
simp bitches know I'm fucking right. Shut the hell up, go over there. You're fucking enablers.
That's the thing is we never,
Yeah.
we don't see ourselves the other
Yeah.
ways people others see us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We just don't. And there's a reason why you ask people's opinions on stuff. And I get that.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm enough of a
think
girl that I
is about to wrap up here.
don't want girls to look bad and be embarrassed, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just like, I understand. A lot of people have metabolic issues. There's a
Yeah.
lot of meds that cause metabolic weight gain.
Mm-hmm.
Going through pregnancies and all that can cause it. And not
yeah.
everybody can get back into shape easy. I get it.
Yeah,
So
just plain old
I do not-
age.
Yeah.
You
As I was
cross the age of
explaining
35, nature pulls a very bad trick on you. Your metabolism slows down, your appetite doesn't.
My metabolism's been shit since I was born, though, so I'm
Yeah.
already through there. But so
No,
I always said, I've
Mhm.
always said, let's show a little kindness and grace on
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
I do believe we shouldn't body shame people. I also don't think we should celebrate unhealthy either. And there's a
No.
fine line there.
There's a balance, yeah.
Okay, I get it. Some people are going to be big. It's going to happen. Dress in a way that flatters that. Dress in a way that accents the positive parts and makes the waist look smaller. Do things to
Yeah.
make yourself feel
Mhm.
prettier. And that's not
Yeah.
about telling you that you're not good enough if you're yourself and you can't do it.
Mhm.
That's telling you do things that'll flatter you. I'll use Lizzo because she's one of the biggest women out there in the public eye.
And she's making a note. That's what stuff. Saying, hey, look at me. Okay, well, look at you. Not working.
Let's be honest. Would she
Put
look
down
as
the
bad?
donut. Okay, yeah.
Would she look as bad if she wore dresses with a nice empire cut on the chest, sticking the chest out,
Yeah.
loose across the stomach, and then flows around the waist?
Yeah.
Would she look better that way?
Well, she's got a pretty face too, so it's like just stop using this body positivity thing as an excuse to not back away from the donut table, okay? So like,
I try to tell people.
not just someone, but you could no. This is you need to start exercising because this.
It's a matter of self-respect. It's a matter of self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think now? I will give a little story of this, and I won't put a name on it, but there was one. I ended up on one of the women in the fandom streams a while back.
Yeah.
Years back, actually, but.
Yeah.
And we were talking, we were streaming, and this is a woman who knew that I don't wear makeup, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty obvious, I almost never do.
Mm-hmm.
And all this other stuff, and I've always been very open that I'm more confident this way. I think natural beauty is the way to go for most people.
Yeah. I try to see a lot of makeup. You just hang a sign that says wet paint.
Sat there on stream and made every shot she could about how horrible these women are who think that not wearing makeup makes them good women and stuff like that. And it was obviously she was trying to bash me for not wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, whatever. And it's like, and some of us don't roll out of bed put together. And it's like, that sounds like a you problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The fact that my husband can snap a picture of me laying with cats in bed and share it with people, and they don't have to wonder. I look pretty close to the way you'll see me on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like a you problem if you don't roll out of bed and feel confident in your skin.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I have a problem with people wearing a lot of makeup? Do I have a problem with makeup and stuff? No.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with the fact that a lot of these girls who are in this pushback, okay, yeah, I get we're pushing back against a culture that says don't try to make yourself your best self, all that stuff. But you like your makeup. Good for you.
Fine.
Not all of us do, not all of us can.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few I can wear that I'm not allergic to, and when I do find them, it's a lot of work for me, and I don't want it. And let's be honest, with makeup, by the time you make a mistake, if you're on certain layers and
Yeah.
work, you have to basically undo your face and redo it. Now put that with my spasms and tics. Imagine you spending an hour doing this detailed face and then having a mistake that can't be just erased.
And guys, you wonder why women take 3 hours to get ready for dinner. There you go.
Whereas I have never taken more than 15 minutes to get ready for
No,
anything.
that thing I made the pun of the Mackie or not Mac, no, Steph.
The closest
Don't bother.
I got.
We used to take the same amount of time going to the restroom at the store. I'd come out, she'd come out right. It's like back when we were still able to move around.
I was going to say the closest thing I got to
assistance.
ever actually taking a while to get ready for something was actually when I saw 3 Days of Grace and Breaking Benjamin in concert. Because I actually went in the full boots, the leather pants, the black and red corset with the gothic makeup and hair done.
Okay,
and still, I spent about a half hour doing it.
Yeah. Second video is now up and being processed, so that should help the feed.
Yeah. I mean, a key thing to remember, know where you're going before you dress that way. Okay, a little story to why my father-in-law didn't like me when we first got together. My father-in-law is very, very conservative Christian.
Ooh. There's a warning sign right there.
I did not know he was coming to the concert that he was performing in college because he was in orchestra, he was in band, he worked as an artist.
Yeah.
I went to support him. This was in my skinny time, and it was also in my kind of sexual rebellion. And I showed up to this concert. I had knee-high leather boots. I had a little mini leather skirt. And a Harley shirt that was basically if you took a bandana sideways and made a tie around the neck and back.
One of those, yeah. Okay.
And it was Harley decked out with the Sturgis stuff and flames and skulls and stuff on it.
The kind of thing that screams, Harlot!
Or demonic, to assume, because it was all the dark, black Harley stuff. I mean,
Satan, get thee behind me! It's like, that's fine, and do a reach around.
He gets off stage and runs over and wraps his arms around me and goes, and starts hugging and kissing on me. And his dad walks up and he goes, "Hey, Dad, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend." And you can just see his face like drop. He's like, you can just see his face like, oh,
yeah,
fuck is happening to my son kind of face.
I think, I don't know, if it may have been Confederate Railroad may have had a song, I Like My Women on the Trashy Side.
And I'm sitting there going, oh, God. And there's a part of me that wishes I had a picture of me in that outfit. It was so good. Oh my God. That was in my wrestler days. Picture that model.
Yeah.
The legs were a little more slender and the chest is bigger, and that's basically what I had, except for the red hair. So, I mean,
and you show up dressed like a model for Outlaw Biker magazine, okay?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh God.
There's times I
yes, it's a real magazine,
honestly,
folks. These are the top rack.
The sad thing is, part of me doesn't miss it, even though I liked that figure, because I did not like all the attention. I don't like all the attention I get now.
Yeah.
And back then, not kidding, I had most of that campus chasing after me. And oh my God, did any of them actually look at my face? Or was it just that I walked around campus in thigh-high boots and little velvet dresses and biker clothes and stuff with big perks?
That's, don't dress like, you're drawing attention from across the campus, for God's sake. Huh?
Well, yeah, but the thing is also, I think a lot of people forget, not all women dress sexy because they want people to look at them. Sometimes it's about self-image, especially depending on what you've been through. The other thing is,
but the whether you attention or not, the effect is, oh, look at it, wow!
Oh yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it.
We are very simple creatures, okay? We're attracted by shiny objects.
I get that. But it was actually a point I was getting to, and I absolutely understand and get that they're gonna look. Although how many women hit on me was a little disturbing.
Welcome to college life.
Actually, I had several of them hit on me in Job Corps too. Anyway, and that was fun because we lived in the same dorm.
Uh-huh. That's
And,
convenient. Okay.
and the dorms are like military, you know. You have
Uh-huh.
4 wings, and the wings are open, and all the beds are just lined up with the lockers.
It's
So
barracks. Yeah. That's
pretty
not a dorm.
much,
That's a barrack. That's a dorm.
it,
Dorm.
it, it was vaguely defined as dorms because
Mm-hmm.
when they remodeled the rooms, they actually gave us built-in lockers, so there was a slight amount of
Mm-hmm.
privacy between them.
Yeah.
Slight. Um, and so
Not that good. We
it,
had
it yeah, I'm
barracks and
sorry.
basic training. We had dorms.
Nothing nothing against anybody. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care. Most of my best friends there actually were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
one that bothered me was not because I had anything against her. It's because she was very adamant how much of a crush she had on me, and
Oh.
she was in the bed across the hall from me where she could see where I change.
Uh-huh.
That would have bothered me if it was a guy that had a crush on me that I considered a friend too.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have wanted to change where he could see me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was. I thought of it just
That's.
like one of the guys.
I
I
can.
still remember the night the girls
Mm-hmm.
decided to get rambunctious. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep deprivation,
Uh,
a shitload of teenage to early 20s girls, and a stolen bowl of condoms from the nurses' station do not make a good
what could
behavioral night.
possibly go wrong?
And I remember the point at which the night where they lined up on our side of the dorm because out our
Mm-hmm.
windows, if we opened up the blinds, we
Mm-hmm.
could see one of the men's dorms directly out our window, and they could see us. So
Hello.
they opened all the blinds, and they were running around in their underwear. They blew the condoms up like giant balloons, and were
Mm.
mock humping each other with them in the windows.
Oh God.
Oh, and we had an audience. Oh God, we had
Oh
an
yeah.
audience.
The
We
whole
had a
point
bunch
at
of
that
guys
point.
sitting there going in the windows watching. Like,
Yeah.
okay, it was not well behaved. Okay,
Of course
again,
not. Okay. This is.
got a bunch of young people. The
Mm-hmm.
problem that Job Corps has with dealing with the students often is the fact
Mm-hmm.
that you get people court ordered there because of things they've gone
Mm-hmm.
through, and that
Yeah.
includes also a lot of the girls come to these places to get away from people who've abused them physically, sexually, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're all kind of rowdy and wild and kind of
Yeah.
feral when we go into campus, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then the age bracket they put you in Job Corps in to help you get on your feet is 16 to 24.
Oh yeah.
And then you combine it with you're cut off from the outside world, you're living a military like life, and less than a quarter of the center is female.
That's the pitch for
And
a porno movie. Okay.
so
Or
the
horror
less,
film. Take your pick.
yeah,
Okay.
less than a quarter of the students were female.
Maybe even a horror porn film if you really want to get creative.
And we were wedged in between the mountains, and we had
Mm-hmm.
A wall and B wall, as we called them
Mm-hmm.
for the mountain ranges we were wedged between. This was military jokes, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you're in barracks anyway, so what the
And
hell?
there was what they literally had was A wall condom cave.
Oh boy.
Guess why they named it Condom Cave?
A lot of them in there.
Remembering that you're not supposed to be allowed to mate or have sex while you're in Job Corps, but they still left condoms out in the nurses' station.
Because they knew things were going to happen. They had enough sense for that.
And these
Like, no, it's not allowed, but we know human behavior. Something's going to happen. So
because we're not you weren't allowed to be outside of the actual building areas.
yeah.
They had the trade shops ran a ring around where the dorms were,
Mm-hmm.
and you were supposed to stay in the yard inside between the dorms and the trades when you're outside.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a wall fence in the back of every trade shop that connected around the center. So
Mhm.
it was not easy to get out of center.
Mm.
But guess what?
Okay.
How determined students at that age get to find a way to have sex?
Oh yeah.
They would go AWOL on that mountain all the time in between meals and meetings with staff and
Mhm.
work and stuff. And they snuck into Condom Cave.
Of
That was
course.
their favorite sneak away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were also in the mountains. So we had, there was There was a time that a mountain lion actually tried to attack one of the guys from the dorm when he was outside doing detail work.
Whoops.
And my favorite teacher, the Vietnam that described that the whole situation is that poor mountain lion. It was so desperate for food, it was going to eat a Job Corps baby.
Ooh.
There's a reason he's my favorite teacher. He was fun. But it was crazy. And then there was a nearby Job Corps, which was also one of the ones I almost went to because I had the 3 main ones that I was picking between were all in Montana, and they're all in the top rated in the nation. And the other center, we got wind when I was working in the front desk of this event. And I don't know how to describe this gently. The students got caught in the act by the staff because they fell out of the tree doing it in front of the center director.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing you scripted it. It's like you scripted thinking this could be happening. Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, how mortified must you be at that point to be on the ground?
That's where you can justify saying based on a true story. So.
And so I remember that, and we laughed. I sat there in the front office with all the staff, and we laughed ourselves silly at those dumb kids for getting caught that way. We had 3 wolves that hung out on center all the time that had apparently decided that they liked the center and they liked the kids because they were here constantly. And one of my friends, because, drunken, young, immature, nicknamed all of the wolves, and they actually would start coming to the nicknames he gave them. The problem was he called them Bud, Wise, and
Ooh.
He said they were much more impressive than stupid frogs.
Oh boy. Well, they are big old dogs. Oh.
Now, I actually had one time where I was, because your details, your duties, what you clean, what you're maintaining.
Yeah.
Unless you're on a punishment system, all the students have details every day. Those are reset and rearranged and reassigned every week. So you just fill out the draw every week, Everyone there's all these ones, and then you pick and you draw and you go between them, and whichever you get, that's what you get, right? Well, apparently, what I got one time was the outside detail to clean the back barbecue pit behind the dorm, right? Okay, well, mornings out in the mountains, watching sunrise while I clean up. Not that bad, right?
Yeah.
I got one morning, I got into it with a staff member because it makes a little sense if you understand the context here. I wasn't trying to skip out on work. I swear to God, I was not trying to skip out on work.
Yeah.
But I told her I wasn't going out to do the details. And she started to yell at me. I'm like, look, if you think the lead's clean that bad, you go out there. She's like, why? Come here. Outside in the pet I was supposed to clean, in the barbecue pit I was supposed to clean out.
Yeah.
Laying across one of the benches asleep was a mountain lion.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
She looked out there, looked at me, and started calling the other dorms to let them know to be careful about the students being outside.
Yeah,
it's like,
Stephen. Okay.
It's like, no, I'm not. No.
No.
I'm sorry.
Clearly that mountain lion needs his beauty sleep. Okay, let him. Leave him be.
Yeah, I'm not screwing with that. I'm going to reload because the internet just finally came back up. So I will be back.
And I'm going to go get a soda. I'll take this up to you and go get me a soda here. So I think in the meantime, I'll throw up a video here. Just to count things. Where's something not horribly long and something that will... This is a few minutes. I just need a little bit to... Well, actually, no. I got booted off last time for that one. Yeah, no, Steph is asleep. That's Stephen. Okay. let's see. I think I'll throw up. Oh, okay. All right. Where's something there? That's 35 minutes. I don't think that one. I'm gonna need a couple of minutes to get up and go to the bathroom, but let's throw this in. That's 2 minutes. That's not enough. 7 minutes. That's enough. Up and hold on. Answer that. Okay. And we're back in here.
I can actually get some of my stuff done while we talk now.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm gonna go get me a soda real quick, so I'll be back in a bit.
Yay!
Entertain the troops. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do anything that's going to get the channel banned, so we'll skip several of the ideas I had when you said entertain the troops. And hello, Stephen. So yeah, Job Corps was an interesting experience, and I got away with way too much. The staff loved me. I got away with way too much, but it was fun. I remember fire crew and camp crews, and I remember because that was a constant part. So I went to Job Corps in Montana, and the one I went to was the top one in the region for natural resources and ranger training. In fact, I originally went there before I found out my medical exempted me from the work. So yeah, I went there originally to train to be a ranger, but medical, took that down a peg, and I didn't get to do it. But we did the fire crews, camp crews, and all that, and it didn't matter which job you were doing for the fire crews or camp crews. It didn't matter if you were on site or you were working at base. You had to pass training. You had to do pack training. You had to do repetitions. You had to do laps around center within certain time with the packs, all this. And I did have to do that. And then I never went with them on any trips. I sat in the clerical office and got paid. And remember, this was over 20 years ago. Almost $20 an hour to type up the carbon of their pay slips for all the crews.
Okay.
So you also bear in mind that I was typing up pay slips for all the fire crews in the area, not just the students. And it had to be perfect. And if it was failed or flawed, a single mark anywhere was even out of place where it was which can happen no matter how perfectly you're typing. You have to redo the whole paper.
Yeah.
And in the few weeks I was doing this, I helped the government put out almost 3,000 paychecks for different fire crews. But I was getting paid obscene money for it then, especially since I was in Job Corps, and it's a job training site where you get paid 20-something a week.
Yeah.
Normally. So that was like obscene money because everything was taken care of. So that was how I got some of the nerd stuff that I actually had collections of, was that it was fun. I actually enjoyed it a bit. It was not actually easy work, but it was easier than what the poor crews had to do out there putting out fires, cooking and cleaning and doing bitch work.
Yeah.
I wanted so hard to be a forest ranger. That was my childhood work. 14 years studying, and I go into there, and it took one day with the federal guy for getting approval through the requirements for it. They look at me and go, "You're never going to medically qualify." And just like that, everything I had studied, everything I had worked for, everything I had done for 14 years was shot. It's like, well, okay, and I came to this center because I wanted to train in that. Because it was one of the only job courses that actually could train you for Forest Service work. So, okay, I'll do the clerical because I need to know more about computers anyways. That's basically a given for society, and even then.
Yeah.
So I did the clerical because why not?
Yeah.
It takes a few months, and I can learn a lot of things I'm going to need for the future.
And there's less chance of smoke inhalation. So.
And I wasn't eligible to join carpentry shop till 18th birthday. Nobody under 18 could join carpentry, welders, or a couple of the other more hardcore of the trades. You had to be 18 plus.
Yeah.
I wasn't yet, so I did clerical, and I was fine with that. I did well at it. I did everything, and as soon as I was 18, they graduated me from one and switched me to the other. It was almost instantaneous.
Okay.
I went in that time in the clerical shop from being absolutely inept with any computers and technology to typing almost 80 words a minute, doing dictation, all this stuff. And, I've never learned anything about typing. I could barely type 10 words a minute when they did their initial test when I entered the trade. 80 words a minute is kind of a real flip. And I still type pretty fast, actually, but...
Yeah. I used to be able to type pretty good. I mean, easily...
I went through, and I worked in the art room in the evenings on some nights. I worked in the pool hall on other nights. I worked on the rock wall some nights, and I was in wrestling on some nights. So I was extremely busy in the evenings when I wasn't at work. So literally when I was in Job Corps, which was the better part of, March through graduating in beginning of December the next year. So most of 2 years, I was getting up at 5 a.m. For the shower, for all the military wake up, details, cleaning, work, to work. As soon as all that early stuff was done, work, lunch briefly, work. Would get off work and would go straight to working in training for the wrestling and other stuff like that till it was dinner time, at which point I did the quick dinners that they allowed, and then went to these. Every night we had dorm meetings with the staff for everything we needed to do for the next day, everything was good, everything that was bad, all that stuff, right? I do like that, actually. But anyway, and as soon as the dorm meetings were done, I would go into that was the time of night when they would open up the other stuff, because they did not open the rec center, the art area, the pool hall, the rock wall and stuff till after the dorm meetings for the night after dinner. So as soon as the dorm meetings were done, I would go over and I'd start working those places, and I worked depending on which night on all of them. I never had a night off, and I would help close there, and I would get back to the dorms to do nighttime routines, nighttime details, get ready for bed, and get ready for the next day at about 11 p.m. On weekends, I worked all the jobs and then some, plus doing volleyball, plus working with the tubing groups and helping actually. When we did tubing, it wasn't like you tube lightly down a casual river. We were doing this on Trapper Creek River, which is whitewater rapids coming off of a mountain in Montana. So every time they did expeditions over the weekends during most of the year, other than winter, they had to have certain staff members doing the drop-off pickups at start point, end point. They had to have a student in every group who was trained to be able to catch people, help them get back into the group, not get dashed on the rocks, all this stuff. I remember literally flipping myself upside down and grabbing the tube to hike up the rapids to rescue a guy who got wedged and couldn't get himself out. And so I was actually running a lot of the tubing expeditions most of the time. I mean, I was always working.
Yeah.
I was always working. And it kept me out of trouble most of the time. I should not have joined wrestling. I do not agree with co-ed wrestling anymore after I've done it. And I will tell you, oh God, I got so many run-ins with the guys. But like I said, the one that tried to push me up against the wall once everyone was gone and grab onto me, that did not go well. Who for him?
I trust his singing voice shot up a couple of rages there.
Yeah, and he disappeared for 4 days when he went into town to have retrieval surgery.
Yeah.
Which tells you how bad it was.
I can say our personal experience. Yes, it will. Without a whole lot of provocation, it will suck back in there.
Yeah, that it is actually. That was not just the thing that they used in the movie 10 Things I Hate About You. It is actually very possible to kick a guy there so hard that it has to be surgically retrieved.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I don't believe in being abusive to people, but if you're going to try to force yourself on somebody, you deserve it.
Yeah. You're going to do something like that.
When I left center, and I still don't know what the records are standing now, the rock wall was not a standard rock wall. It was not you just climbing up and down. We had everything from overhanging boxes where we had to climb like 10 feet out and go over just to get up it. We had to go climb like 10 feet upside down, hanging literally by our feet and hands. All this kinds of stuff. We had called Suicide Crevice, which was wedged between two of the other ones, and it was literally squeeze yourself while trying to grab almost no hooks and everything else. And this was an expert wall. When I left the center, out of the 9 different climbing points on it we had, which went up to 3 stories of that gym, out of 8 out of the 9, I had the record on. I miss rock climbing, in fact. I loved it so much. It was me. But it's not good for my medical now. I still do some of it. I still do some of it, even though I'm not supposed to. But that's a whole other topic and me getting myself in trouble. I do remember a few years ago here where I was trying to get some of my eagle shots where I actually climbed the rocks over the river. And I was actually in the cliff face above the river, and I had tripod myself between 3 large rocks that weren't quite touching, so I could balance the camera in between them so I could get the shot because it was the only possible way to get the angle. So I was literally dangling off 3 rocks trying to balance the camera in between them and take a picture of this juvenile eagle over my head.
Yeah, I don't know. Steven, I don't know if Mark told you about the time he and Brian were up around Morrison Hogback. They're doing the ropes and pitons and all this training because they're planning for a climb in El Dorado Springs, and I'm just bounding up my own little thing off to the side there. And I got up there fine, but on the way back down, that's when I got in trouble. Because it wasn't as easy coming back down the same way. It would come back the same way, and it's like at one point I am literally hanging by this finger off of a thing, and that's when I'd say, I think I'm in trouble here. And when they turn around, I'm now falling. It's about 30 feet down to the ground at that point. Thankfully, it was also angled away, and I had enough sense not to try and land on my feet.
The fun one.
I knew if I tried to land, I'd have broken both angles and probably got leg. So I went on my back and rolled another 40 feet through the brush.
So I was going through, and I stream once a month over with Odin, right? One of my early streams with him, I had been going through some of my old boxes right before we started the stream, and I had found a picture. I decided I had to kind of show off there. The reason I decided I had to show this picture off was because this picture was me pulling myself up over the edge of that upside down suicide wall. And in this stupid picture, the shirt that I had on had gone up just right off that you can actually see the fucking hole in my back from where I was trampled. So you can literally see I have a hole in my back that connects into the spine, and I was climbing up this expert rock wall with that hole.
Yeah, my little experience on that flying through the air off the hogback though, like that's the last time I did that number, And I still love climbing up like that, but it's like, nope, that's it.
I don't know what this whole discussion says about me, other than the fact that I'm a bit psycho and crazy.
Yeah, I think I used like 3 or 4 of my 9 lives on that one. As it was, I still had a bruise the size of a cantaloupe on my side for a while there. So, yeah. And I do think it contributed to my appendicitis about a year later. So, can't prove it because it was a year later, but still.
The thing is that we often don't realize the effects we have on ourselves long term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But nothing of this finger alone has been screwed up because, like, at that point I'm still maybe 160 pounds at that point, hanging off of that finger. So.
I do know that it got pretty interesting dealing with some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think here how to describe this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hiking 7 miles up and down hills in a hilly zoo when you have 3 breaks in your toes and a crack in your foot and a bruised foot bone from only 3 days prior. It's not necessarily the most intelligent thing to do.
No.
But I did it. And I didn't even tell the guys I was that injured until after we got done and went to go have lunch after.
Yeah.
About the time they realized how hard I was limping to the car as we were leaving, they were trying to get suspicious,
Mm-hmm. Are you okay? No, no, you're not fine. Get your...
I mean, look at it this way, and this probably, I don't know, will probably not be the most pleasant part to say with the guys here, but I'm not going to say it in a way that's really explaining everything either, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When I went through the cystic issues, I spent 13 months on bed rest. In that time I was on that bed rest, I was hemorrhaging the entire period.
Ugh.
Going through hormone therapies and surgeries to stop the hemorrhaging and heal what was hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
Because if they just stopped the hemorrhaging without healing what was hemorrhaging and all the muscle and nerve damage in there, then it could kill me and the blood would start coagulating in the body.
Yeah.
So there was all this kind of stuff I had to go through, and the body does not like damaged tissue on it. No. Your body will fight it every way it can. That's part of genetics. It's part of how we're designed.
Yeah.
Well, when that damaged tissue is somewhere sensitive and it's trying to contract and expel it. Yeah. Basically, I went through 13 months of my body acting like I was having contractions and labor pain when I was actually hemorrhaging. I didn't sleep in that time. I passed out in pain every so often. Yeah. Because you don't fall asleep when your body keeps doing that every couple minutes.
I don't know if I really ever got actual sleep anytime I've been in the hospital. There's points where I just sort of shut down and just ignore it, but I don't think I ever really actually went unconscious. It was always seemed like, yep, we're still up. If somebody came in, I'm aware of it going in.
Yeah, that was I would say a miserable experience like hell.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through this. We're talking to the doctors, and they're going, well, there's a lot of damage. There's a lot of nerve issues. There's a lot of tissue and scar tissue, and we don't know. And this is the part that I would have been such a psycho bitch if this turned out true. Yeah. And they looked me in the eyes and said, we don't know. Well, we don't think it's likely you're going to be able to have sex after this.
Great bedside manner there, guys.
Yeah, you could see they're kind of hemmed and hawed and they didn't know how to say it.
Yeah.
But being told that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's kind of something I think I have to tell my husband.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. Don't.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be able to say not tonight, honey, before he gets curious, right?
Yeah, it's okay. Enough of that. Something. A hand job.
Especially,
Something. Give me
especially with somebody like me, right?
Yeah.
Because
Going from swinging to the chandeliers. No, I got a headache. The hell you do? Give me what the hell's going on here?
So we sat down
Mm-hmm.
and we had a long conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not necessarily what I would call a fun conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but it was what we got through.
Yeah.
And so I sat him down and I said, the doctors don't know if I'm going to be physically able to have sex anymore. Which is the only way I knew how to say it, just say it.
Yeah.
And he sits there a minute and he looks down. You could see he was not happy with hearing this.
Yeah.
You could see he sits there a sec, takes several breaths, looks at me and goes, well, it's a good thing I didn't just marry your body, isn't it? It's about all he could think of saying. And that, actually, though,
Yeah.
that was actually the right thing to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just was, he wasn't going to say it in a way that was fully tactful. I mean,
Yeah.
because honestly, what husband wants to hear that from their wife?
No. And I think doctors, just seem to be trained to just go immediately for the worst case scenario.
Well,
so when it doesn't happen, well, it worked out for the best, then, didn't it?
and the thing that this is the situation is with these conditions, it's actually not an uncommon side effect.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gives a fucking shit what you guys like or dislike or want to see.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that people can come in and say these kinds of creepy comments to somebody who's talking about their marriage.
Yeah.
Nobody loves you. That's why you're trolling for attention online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go find Rosie Palm, drink a fifth, and get your hand drunk so it's actually willing to touch you, and fuck off.
Uh-huh. In the meantime.
Sorry. I have no patience for stupid people.
Yeah. We're going to take care of this right here. Like, what the hell are you expecting? Are you seriously thinking this is the kind of thread? And what, on YouTube anyway? Let's see. Remove.
I mean, I guess it could be worse. I mean, some of the things people have sent me and said to me since I've started doing public stuff is holy crap.
And bye. Yeah.
I guess the creepier one's still the one that decided to send me a message telling me he masturbated to me and wanted my husband's information to talk to him about trying to get permission to have a three-way or rail me.
Yeah.
I got offended when I told him to fuck off and blocked him.
Well, Laughing Boy is now blocked. Okay.
And it's again, I know what I am.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through medical hell since literally I have any memory.
Yeah.
I have all these metabolic conditions. I'm not a skinny woman. I'm middle-aged and frumpy. I'm going to be 40 this year. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always laugh a bit when these people do this
really
shit.
Fun. Yeah, now he's officially banned from the thing, okay?
But I find it really funny when they make comments like that to me. I get it some with some of the girls. I get it when they make those comments to Anna because she's gorgeous. You know?
Show the camel toe. What the fuck? You want me to stand up right now, asshole?
I mean, I don't have camel toe.
You don't want...
I don't have pants on, but that's a whole other thing.
Neither do I. That's the thing.
So let's not go there, okay? Mm-hmm. It's the middle of the freaking night.
You're not getting the camel toe, you're getting the camel nose. Okay, you really want to go there, asshole?
I'm sitting here in an extra long freaking wife beater that's designed to be like a dress shirt version of it. No, so it hangs down to about halfway on my thighs. That's what I have. That's it. Mm-hmm. So fuck you. Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, some people are funny.
Turn the monetization on the sucker. Okay, there we go.
I'm just wondering if the guy's dumb enough to actually come back with another name.
We'll find out. Yeah.
Hey, dickless one, how dumb are you? I mean,
yeah. And again, an entire, other thread, a video up about proper use of the band hammer. And now that I've established where it is on this end, I'm not having to go through the YouTube side, but I guess you do it from here.
I mean, let's look at it this way.
Do something dumb, your ass is gone. I'm sorry, I'm not going to play that game. Okay.
Didn't we start tonight by talking about the people who deserve to be smacked around because they've turned into these sexist tropes about chauvinistic men harassing women?
Yeah. Maybe we could easily go into the George Carlin on the list of people who need to be killed. Okay.
It's like read the room. Look, I get some.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, here's another list of people who should be have their scrotum ripped apart by weasels. Okay.
There are some people who like that kind of talk of their chat.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
Sometimes this chat will go that route, but not right now. So.
Well, there's also certain comments that are just creepy anyways.
Yeah.
Look, if I flirt with somebody, Yeah. They have to have something that makes me think they're special.
Yeah.
B, my husband knows I do it, and I'm not actually going to do anything. And anything you say to me can and will be shared with him and laughed at.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I have a lot of guys who actually have crushes on me who are in my inner circle. My husband knows they do.
Yeah.
It's not mean he did not have to have his say with them before we hung out.
Yeah.
Because when you get to the point of when I had that whole thing go on with my co-star and he admitted that he had those feelings, we talked it out after the stream.
Yeah.
After that, I went and talked to my husband about what happened.
Yeah.
After that, he had to talk to him again before you left us alone.
Yeah.
Actually, the first thing he said is, and this guy is not going to be at the next event you go to, right? It's like, well, he's poor as fuck and he's in England, so no.
Yeah.
So
not really an option in the first place.
No, that's not a worry.
Kind of like I've had to point out a few things with Steph where we got Indy. It's like, no, one, the 30-year age difference. She lives in Seattle. I couldn't get there if I wanted to. So well, no, you are not in danger here, okay? Nothing's going to happen with this thing.
I get to a degree, but I had no problem with the fact that was one of his first questions, considering what I told him.
Yeah.
Look, a guy just confessed how much he likes me on air and then spent about 3 hours basically explaining to me that, yeah, I really do have those feelings for you, but I'm not going to act on them.
Yeah, let's get this out of the way right now. Okay. Yeah, Seattle is not, although Indy is in a very nice area of Seattle, she's not in Seattle. She's in one of the suburbs. And I'm not going to go into detail anywhere that because again, I'm not doxing her. Okay. I'm not falling into that.
No, it's not the best place.
No.
Of course, I'm still shocked.
Yeah.
No, sometimes when people say certain things.
Yeah. No, the one on that front, she's had some stomach issues lately. I'm not sure what's going on there. Been trying to advise from the sidelines. 7-Up or Sprite and saltines. That will generally put your little tum-tum to sleep. Okay.
Well, I've been quite a bit.
Or ginger ale if you want that way.
I've been quite a bit sick this week too. So this last week.
Yeah.
God, I've had a really rough time the last couple of weeks. I mean, let's be honest. I've had a really rough time in my life.
Yeah.
And the last few years have been kind of hell, but the last couple of weeks have been really fucking rough.
No, but I also put them on her Fansly site where she doesn't quite, I don't think she quite knows it's me. So she's willing to talk, actually interact. But it's just a user and a number on there. I also recommend, you might want to get checked out for an ulcer. Okay. Because this has really knocked her for a loop, apparently.
I get stomach flare-ups a lot, but they're Nothing major.
This has knocked down our ass for a couple of days there. So, okay, there might be something going on there. So, I want to get checked out there.
Now let's figure out how long it takes me to get to the I don't give a fuck stage of the night. Since right before we started chatting and messaging and we started the stream, I took all my night meds because I wasn't sure if I was going to get internet back.
That's it. Where are we at here?
Remember my little cup I take every night right now? So Ash understands why I'm a little weird tonight. The little cup I take nightly is medical. It's needed for my nerve issues. It's needed for my allergies. The cup I take at night is liquid Benadryl, liquid CBD, and liquid melatonin. That takes about 5 to 20 minutes.
Perfect thing to knock your happy ass out. Yeah.
And yet I still stay awake on it. I mean, yeah. The thing is that I have extremely hyperactive brainwaves and the seizure damage and stuff. So sleep is really difficult for me. So,
I don't mind MRIs.
I do. I don't like being pinned in.
Especially if they've got the headphones with they can put in a radio station or pipe in some music. That's not bad. So just put it on KBCO and I'm happy.
Sleep is like practically non-existent to me. I've always got allergy issues and sinus issues. And then because of the nerve damage, developing Parkinson's and all that, I have to take the CBD in order to control the spasms and tics and keep the muscle pain down. I also have to take L-Carn nightly to control the muscle tears and the muscle issues with muscle conditions. So, and that gets really interesting because L-Carn can actually make you energetic because it's part of what your muscles produce for function and growth. The problem is that the type of muscular dystrophy I have, my body doesn't produce and store L-Carn correctly. Which also means that your muscles will just randomly tear themselves. Think about what happened about a year and a half ago to my leg. And I've told everybody from the beginning, I don't like being loopy. I don't like meds. But I have to take them. And I have people tell me, oh, you're just getting the muscle relaxers because you're going to be high. It's like, look, I've never done recreational drugs. I don't have an interest in being high. I don't like the feeling. But if I don't take the muscle relaxers when it flares really badly, the doctors have warned me over and over that it can tear, the muscles can basically tear themselves open. And everyone kept saying, oh, no, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. Well, that's what happened last year.
The hell it isn't,
That's what literally happened last year is I kind of ignored those warning signs that it was acting up. And I was kind of pushing and trying to get things done. And I turned to try to move some things while I was making the bed and literally sounded like a shotgun. And you just feel in the leg, in the back of the calf, there were 5 separate places where it literally snapped across the muscle tissue and just shredded the back of the leg. So, yeah, that is a thing. The L-Carn and the CBD help control that, so I don't have to take the muscle relaxers as often. And they don't make me as loopy, and they don't give me potential nightmares. So, it's a better option.
Third video is 94% uploaded so far.
Apparently, I'm letting people understand how fucked up my body is right now.
Right, did I post links?
Yes, I'm a broken fucking girl, right? See, Ashes, I have over 40 scars in my head from the seizure damage. Because the types of seizures I had are a very rare condition, and it causes the brain to swell, and it also causes it to overheat. So in severe cases of it, it literally burns your brain open as you're having a seizure. That's what I went through. My first one was massive. And that's what where my first memory comes from. I woke up in the hospital after it.
Mm-hmm.
Hours later, it almost put me in a coma.
Ugh.
So that's what I knew is I woke up. I'm on a hard metal table because you remember the old metal exam tables for emergencies and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm on that, on my back, which I'm a side sleeper for reasons. I have spine issues from birth before even the injuries. And everything hurt. Everything from head to toe hurt.
Yeah.
There's bright lights in my face, and you know how light sensitive I am.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by people I don't know, and my head felt like hell. Well, I didn't know at the time when I learned later with the testing and the doctors that at that moment when I woke up, there were actually 5 parts of my brain that were on fire. So yeah, it hurt like hell.
Yeah. Oops.
So I have kind of numbed a little to pain, and I am very sensitive to light. I'm very sensitive to sun and heat.
Yeah.
But my brain overheating is kind of a completely separate thing. And if you research Rasmussen syndrome or Rasmussen trait seizure disorder, it is overall global numbers are about 2 out of every 10 million. They've actually only had a little over 70 diagnosed cases in the U.S. That's what I went through as a child.
Jeez.
It is, if you can get through it, if you have a mild enough, you can get through it, and too old enough, you can heal it, but it is often times fatal and oftentimes leads to the only way to keep the person alive is basically to lobotomize. So I didn't have great luck or hope at the time as a child. I had good luck, you know?
Change in pace question-wise. Which is in more bad shape, Yellow Trucking Company or Hollywood and TV movie company? I think the trucking company would have a little more public support because they haven't spent the past several years telling half the country to go screw themselves and calling them monsters because they didn't want to get a shot. Okay. So that's Hollywood's big problem is that they've burned a lot of goodwill. They're fighting for some very good causes because they're mainly fighting for the poor schmucks at the bottom of the food chain who don't get the $1 million contracts and are working jobs.
Like I said, as much as I hate Hollywood, I don't actually disagree with the strikes they're doing right now. Even though I don't like unions.
They got legitimate claims, but the thing is, it's like you've pissed off so many people, nobody cares about your sorry ass now.
And that's the other thing I've tried to explain to people for a while. When you cry wolf so much, when you piss off people, when you degrade your opponents, when you claim everything is istophobe and everything is bigoted, and you tear things down, what you really hurt is the actual victims because they're the ones who won't have a voice when things are done.
It's like John Cusack is on another terror calling DeSantis a fascist. It's like, you need to check your dictionary because you clearly don't know what fascism is. Okay? The only push of fascism was on your side.
I won't say there's none pushing it on both sides, but
fascism is a very specialized brand of
like I said, I won't say there's none on both sides on either side.
There's an occasional tendency here and there, but it's like
the general of fascism is historically left wing.
I'm gonna branch a little bit. Fascism itself is really more of a tactic than it is an ideology.
It is.
It's
that's why I said the majority of the ones who have tended to be left wing.
Yeah, the National Socialists. It's like nothing right wing about the Nazis. Okay, they were in their name, National Socialist Workers Party of Germany.
This is the thing, Ash. I have a problem with unionizing jobs that
are required for other people's livelihoods, other people's safety, or other people's medical or food or other stuff. Because your I want to raise should not be prior to other people's lives, safeties, and paychecks.
Yeah, and frankly, in this day and age, if you don't have direct deposit, you're an idiot. Okay.
Well, actually, not all places do it still.
Not all, but any company that doesn't offer it are run by idiots. When I first started,
that's yes and no. It's actually not that simple to get it in some of these rural areas. Yeah. But generally speaking, if you're in cities, I would agree to that.
Yeah. Like I said, I tried, just mail the paycheck, when I was starting with the caregiver thing with Steph. Now just mail the check. I'll be, just going across town. Well, there's times when the payday was Friday, I didn't get the check till Monday. Guess what happened in between time? All hell breaking loose. So I got that direct deposit set up as fast as I could. Okay. And now it's like, no, actually, because Wells Fargo is a thing now where it's like, if you're getting direct deposit, you actually get paid like a day early. So.
Yeah, I knew about that one because I deal with it too.
So yeah, I get my payday's this Friday. I'm gonna get the money for Thursday probably, and the pay stub will be in the mailbox Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, goody.
Well, yeah, like she said, some companies it's just not just not available because of the size of the company, whatever. So it does depend on. But if it has, if they offer it and you don't get it, you're an idiot.
It's also because there are actually bank fees for offering direct deposit to employees. If you're a single person business, if you have only a few employees, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why I said yes and no. There are exceptions.
Yeah. As a general rule, though.
Yeah.
The video I got finalizing now. I go into thinking because it's mainly dealing with one gal on Twitter, Kim Cadigan, trans gal, and is basically picking fights over use of which bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, going on the ones who are really ardent. You're a born man, you go in the men's room. Have you seen Kim Cadigan?
Well, the thing is that
she's gone through the whole thing, a full surgery. It's like, you would not send this person to the men's room if you liked to. No. Blonde,
nobody was caring about that before they made this issue. Mm-hmm. Nobody was sitting in these bathrooms going, gender check, prove you're a woman.
Yeah.
They created this issue.
Yeah.
And I am going to pass out soon.
Yeah. That's how invoke the old Bill Maher thing from several years ago when this thing first came out. Like, if you look like a girl, go to the ladies' room. If you look like a guy, go to the men's room. And if you're a guy with a beard and you're in a dress, hold it till you get home. Okay. And a little corollary, if you're a pot-bellied guy with a mini skirt and a visible hard on, no fucking way you going in there with my 9-year-old kid. Okay, so, that sort of thing.
And the bathroom thing is bad. Personally, I don't agree with having these bathrooms the way they are. Anyways, I don't like the idea of the whole stall system. It's not safe. It never has been.
Yeah.
It's always had issues, and it's not private. I have a real problem with schools having these draconian rules where kids have to shower together and shit.
That's why I never took gym class. I got lucky. It wasn't a requirement when I went. Yeah. So.
I really have a problem with forcing all these kids into the gym classes and then forcing them to shower together. I have a real problem with that, actually.
Yeah, in grade school, it was real fun with swimming. And it's like, no, don't corner myself in the bathroom stall here with the door locked, and I'll do it in there. Of course, kids are kids. Kids are assholes. I heard all kinds of crap coming from the other side there. I'm like, no. I'm not getting in the shower naked with you idiots. Okay, yeah.
Now, there was the story, and this is one of the ones I not refer to this with it.
Yeah.
or there was this teenage boy
Mm-hmm.
who wanted to be called a girl and he wanted to shower with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
He was 18, a senior, and he wanted full access to the girls' shower room, including freshmen.
Mm-hmm. No, nothing suspicious there.
When the school teachers said, look, we can't do that, that's not safe for the girls. What we can do
Mm-hmm.
is we can let you use the teacher's lounge and shower anytime you want it.
Mm-hmm.
He threw a public fit and said it was bigoted not to let him in with the girls. The girls said that this guy has been a creeper for years. He harasses us. He's always trying to grab at us and stuff. And we will not come to school or shower if he's allowed with us.
Yeah.
Guess what? He was a pervert. He was just wanted to tap and grab a feel. The girls were, with all that evidence, this was just a creeper who was trying to harass and assault these girls to be a peeping Tom. The girls were lambasted in the public eye as supposedly being bigoted because they didn't want to shower with him.
The pendulum is starting to swing back. That's the one bright spot in the thing. It's like people are getting sick and tired of this crap. They're just branding them all. No, we're not branding them all. But the thing is, there are a few, and they will take advantage of it, and they are taking advantage of it. Okay?
Well, the thing is that predators will find a way.
Yeah.
If you give them an opening, they're going to take it.
Especially
when you
roll out the red carpet.
I have nothing
malicious
towards anybody. Nothing malicious towards anybody who's trans, especially those who really have genetic issues and dysphorias that are severe. I have nothing against those people, but you can't say that because those people have those issues that their emotional needs trump the safety and protection of millions and millions of women and children.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that story. You know, the judge threw it up, and well, he's too fat to show it anything. You know. There
was a woman, and there's a reason why there's a certain gem I will never use. Planet Fitness. Besides the fact that they are anti-actual fit people, anyways, with half the shit they do. Had this case years ago where a woman went to the staff members because there was a guy in street clothes in the locker room watching the women shower.
Oh boy.
And they called her a transphobe and said, kicked her out of the gym for coming to them about a guy dressed as a guy standing there watching the women shower. Now, I'm sorry, I wouldn't have gone to the gym owners at that point. I would have knocked him out. I don't give a shit.
Comrade, what are you doing here? Out. Another thing we got here, people who aren't even making any pretense about it whatsoever. They're not trying to pass. They're not even, screw it. Yeah, actually, I got a meeting today at 2 with hopefully getting some financial aid to cover our past due bill, and maybe forward enough that we can, till I get my hours straightened out with the care, because the home health care thing I'm with, where they're paying me to do what I'm doing anyway, is that the hours they're getting me are pathetically low. And come September, when the next fiscal year starts with the county, then they're going to reevaluate and hopefully give me a hell of a lot more hours. Because right now I'm just doing
yeah, well, I'm not going to make it.
About 11 hours. Yeah, I think it's about time to wrap it up anyway. So I just...
My meds have... My meds have obviously kicked in at this point.
Okay, so I've got my three videos up for the day. The third one is premiering now. And it's about... They're each one of them about 20 or 30 minutes. The first one is a little more concise because it's talking about the episode, with Strange New Worlds, where they're crossing over with lower decks. The other one's about the documentary series, The Center Seat, and pointing out a few things that, they got wrong. And then the third one is just, talking about the trans thing and addressing directly Kelly and her thing about... yeah, neo-vagina is a type of vagina, and then they called out by other one, or by a lot of teachers, they're saying, no.
Good night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash out quickly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the desk soon at this rate.
Yeah, no, I have finished my thing, so we're gonna wrap it up here. So, have fun, kids. And there goes, Yeah, and I better get, now that I finished my thing, I'm gonna go. So, have fun. Talk at you later.